So I
Because
think like the first question I was gonna ask you is like, what were you doing before you kind of wanted to become a CSM? What was your role and what were you doing?
I've got experience in sales, so I have about 12 years. Part of it was door-to-door experience. I've got high ticket sales experience. I've done different forms of sales as well. And yeah, a lot of dealing with people. So I love to create processes for things, but I have sales experience, so I know that whatever product or service that I'm speaking about or representing, it's going to help the person who we're selling to. And what's needed is to make sure that the process is there combined with the sales team
Yeah.
selling appropriately. So that middle ground is essentially what a CSM
Yeah, and
does.
you wanted to kind of go from sales to CSM just because you were kind of burnt out, or you were just sick of always just being commission, or what was the reason you wanted to go from sales to CSM?
Yeah, because I am able to do both, but I just wanted to back off for sales. I didn't need so much cash up front. I needed, let's say, a consistent income and I wanted to help out a great company, which is how we got to working together, which is great. But that's essentially it. Then build myself up, and it depended on my personal strategy. So that's why.
Cool. And what do you like most about being a CSM or kind of remote working and those kind of things?
So it depends. Well, remote working is great. You know, you need to manage yourself, so
Yeah.
you need to be good at that. I have that ability and skill. And for CSMs in general, I enjoy being able to help the team. So it's an actual, you talk with everyone. You're kind of the glue between the entire company. And you have to know how every division is working. And you need to hold people accountable. So it's a kind of like a semi-management position. You need to manage yourself, you need to manage others, you need to have proper communication ability. If not, if you don't have that, then you need to be able to really study it while you're in the job. And you need to think like a business owner. At least that's what I think is important. So what's going to make the customer, the happiest, the best, what's going to give them the best kind of outcome, the best kind of process. At the same time, what's really going to make the team the less stressed and the least kind of just burdened, right? What are people complaining about? So since I've done these roles, like I can understand each. So that's it.
Cool. And then what would you tell anybody out there who's kind of on the fence about wanting to become a CSM?
So if you haven't done it already, you should because it really builds up the abilities that every really management position should have, right? So you need to have proper communication ability. You need to understand what sales is about. You need to understand the communication between the company, how things are working, how things are not working. When things go wrong, you need to be able to learn how to problem solve and be able to use all the skill sets that I just mentioned to create solutions. And that's what people want to see, whether what kind of position you're going to afterward or what kind of business you're doing later. You need to be able to show that you can create solutions. So it's a great role to be in.
Cool. And then, I mean, just overall criticism. How's your experience been working with me and the team and everything?
Yeah, it's been great. So I mean, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have stayed.
Yeah.
So, we have a great time. It's very important that whoever you're working with, right? So if people choose to work with Robert, if they choose to work with you, or if they choose to work with somebody else, then it's really important that you need to be able to communicate and ask about standards, ask about what happens, what's our communication going to be like when things go wrong, or if things need to be changed, because that's the nature of the job. You should be adapting to what the clients are talking about, what's hurting the team. And so when all that's going on, as long as you have the know-how and the communication with the owner, the business owner, the trust is there, then you're just going to make more money. Everyone's going to make more money, and then every process is going to be streamlined even further.
Any other thoughts about CSM? Maybe that we didn't touch on?
That you should definitely be practicing on your own. I mean, this is my personal belief, but in any position you have, you should be training on your own, practicing on your own. So when I started working with Robert, I didn't have a ton of experience in the specific industry, and I made sure to study a lot, especially during the first 2 months. And Robert says that I'm providing a lot of value, which is great. I'm grateful, but then it was my effort to put that in, along with asking Robert what he needs, what he needed, what does it look like for the future of what's needed for the future, and we're building it together. So it's exciting stuff. That's what I'd recommend for everybody to do.
Hell yeah, man. You're a rock star. I appreciate it.